How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I bring you a follow-up to the report I did a couple days ago about the looting in downtown Chicago by Black Lives Matter. They all went down to the Magnificent Mile and looted at least 200 high-end stores. You're talking about Louis Vuitton, Gucci, YSL. They even looted a Tesla store. Now, I'm not really sure why. Are you going to steal a Tesla with all the technology and tracking devices inside? I have no idea, but I digress. A spokesperson, a leader, or somebody from Black Lives Matter decided to get on TV and give excuses as to why they looted and why it's not really a big deal, why it's okay, this, that, and the third. Now, before I go down that road, let's roll the clip. In this clip, you'll see the young lady talking about whatever she's saying. After we get done watching that, I'll talk about what she said. Then I'll give you my 2 cents, my deep, detailed analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
I don't care if somebody decides to loot a Gucci or a Macy's or a Nike, because that makes sure that that person eats. That makes sure that that person has clothes.
Black Lives Matter Chicago rallied in support of people who looted and are locked up at the police station at 18th and State.
That is reparations. Anything they want to take it, because these businesses have insurance.
But on Twitter, Reverend Jesse Jackson called the looting humiliating, embarrassing, and morally wrong.
Jesse Jackson has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. Jesse Jackson was not there for the creation of Black Lives Matter. Jesse Jackson can keep his opinions to himself.
All right, you saw that, you heard that. Now, I'm not really sure where to begin. First things first, the elephant in the room, in my humble opinion, is what she said is just pure honesty. This is what it's all about for some people, okay? You got two types of BLMers, Antifa-ers, or just general rabble rousers that are out here in the United States right now causing problems every night, you know, over so-called police brutality and whatnot. Okay, the first kind of person is the actual anarchist, the actually politically motivated person. They think they're out there for positive change or to try and force particular political ideology on America. The Democratic Party love it because they're able to get things kind of pushed through in certain cities that they've been wanting to do for a long time, but there was no muscle to actually force it through. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the Democrats like Mazer Hirono, who did not want to say anything negative about Antifa, Democrats like that in power, your far leftists appreciate your BLM and Antifa because they are kind of a para-political, paramilitary group, okay? That's just one half of the Black Lives Matter, Antifa type organizations. Then there are the other people that just want to steal. They don't really care about politics or Trump or Biden or Kamala Harris. They don't care nothing about that. You know, they don't know the Electoral College from Benedict College. They have no idea what's going on with anything political. All they know is, okay, we can go out here and steal. If I do steal and I get caught, I won't even get sent to the penitentiary or let alone in jail. I'm good. So I'm going to go out here and get me some Jordans. I'm going to try and steal a Tesla. Will I be successful? Who knows? It don't matter because I can pretty much go do whatever I want to do. It's a free-for-all. So you have those that are out there doing that. And I think the young lady was speaking more towards the latter rather than the former. Okay? They're all on both sides, the politically motivated and also just the general thieves. They're all being manipulated by higher powers, but it's a different story, so I digress. My whole point is that you have those that are out there trying to steal, and I think she was the voice for them. Let's talk about this whole thing. Oh, you know, they got to eat. They got to be able to eat. Man, please. Rarely do I go in the hood and see a bunch of slender, fit people. Okay, you got a lot of obesity in the hood. As a matter of fact, in America, which is not really true around the world, the poorer you are, the fatter you are, generally, okay? I'm not saying that's always the case, but that's pretty much the case because when you're in these low-income areas, you got free food, okay? You got food stamps, EBT, WIC, TANF, etc. You get all kind of government benefits, giving all types of free food. So this whole thing about, oh, they got to eat, that's not to be taken in a literal sense. Let's talk about that in a minute. People like AOC talking about, oh, well, you're just trying to get bread. I mean, what kind of loaves of bread do you have in the Tesla store? Okay. Do you have a loaf of bread in the trunk of a car for Tesla? How about in a Louis Vuitton store? Can you find a loaf of bread in a pair of stiletto pump heels or something like that? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out where the food is at in these stores. they're not actually trying to get sustenance or fit like food as you can eat. They're trying to get money. So when she says they're trying to eat, she doesn't mean that in the literal sense as far as eating food. She means it as far as being able to get money, being to accumulate revenue from stealing. That's what she means by they're trying to eat. Now, if you're trying to eat, how about get a job? How about that? How about start your own business? But you know what? It's hard to get into the workforce. It's hard to get your foot on the first ladder of economic prosperity if you can't even get a job in your neighborhood at all. Okay. And when you just looting 200 plus stores and you're doing that consistently, how are you going to be able to get a job at those stores? People say, oh, the millionaires and the billionaires, so what? They got insurance. That's not really how insurance works. Okay. You're going to have sky high premiums. You're going to have some things not get covered. You're going to have some guys not really be able to afford the difference or not really want to pay it. Even if you have, like, let's say a Tesla or a Nike or something like that, they might say, you know what, we got looted and there was a lot of property damage and it was pretty much wanton and the police didn't really do anything to stop it, or they couldn't do anything to stop it. So why would we have our shop there anymore? You might just pack up and leave altogether. And people that work at the store are out of a job now, and the tax revenue that the store generated is gone now as well. All you're going to do is just reduce the economic prosperity of your city, your town, or wherever you live in the state as well. By destroying business, you can't just say, oh, well, it's fine because they got insurance. That's not how insurance works. Okay. Even if I did have insurance that covered everything immediately and I was not out of pocket a lot of money, which I would be in any case of insurance, even if that were the case, I'm not just going to stay there. Why would I stay there? For what? So I can get looted again the next day and the next day and the next day. At what point can I make money there? Okay, I have a responsibility to put my business in a place to where it is relatively safe and is able to turn a profit. If I can't do that, then why would I continue to stay? It doesn't make any sense at all. But I admire the young lady's honesty for saying what's going on with at least her part of the equation. They're trying to get money. They're trying to go out there and loot. They're trying to do whatever. Reparations was hilarious because I'm seeing plenty of black businesses get looted and burned to the ground. So is that reparations too? When you burn down Willie Earl's tire shop, is that reparations? When you take a car from a black man, you shoot a little black girl, is that reparations? I'm not really sure how that makes any sense. You know, some are going to say, hey, ABL, not everybody's a violent protester at the BLM events. I can't tell. If you're out there so-called protesting, then you're part of the riot, because we know how these so-called protests wind up every single night. It's a riot. Somebody get hurt, shot, killed. You got all kind of thievery going on. It's not really the place you want to be. That's just a fact. So this whole thing about peaceful protests, I've said it before and I will say it again. There are no such things as peaceful BLM protests. I've said it one more time. There are no such things as peaceful Black Lives Matter or Antifa protests. Even if you may claim to be peaceful, they're always going to end like this, by some numbnut out there stealing. Then it'll be some gender non-conforming person going on TV talking about, oh, they were just trying to eat, all this and that, making excuses for them. And it's not really a lot of kickback from the mainstream media. So they pretty much are complicit with it. And then you have the political people that want to push forward crazy political ideologies like defunding the police and fight for 15, 18, 35 or whatever minimum wage is going to be. And they get certain things passed. And as a result, everyone suffers, including those that fought for it to begin with, unless, which is probably the case sometimes, they live in affluence already and don't really care about regular peons on the ground. Okay, they have a certain type of living standard for themselves, but for you, it's something different. You know, they don't abide by that. I'm not surprised at all. So as I close, I want to say this. I think people are starting to understand what BLM is all about. Antifa, the same thing. They understand that these groups are pretty much subversive to the U.S. government. They're not helpful. They're very dangerous. They're not very serious as it relates to anything positive. They are serious as it relates to things that are negative. They're seriously getting negative things passed and negative things accomplished, not anything that I'd want to have myself align with at all. And I think a lot of people are starting to feel the same way I feel if they did not feel that way before this whole 2020 BLM resurgence kerfuffle started. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what the young lady said about BLM and just trying to eat, trying to, this, that, and the third reparations? Whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. Do you think that I'm right about the whole situation? You got some people that are just trying to get money and those that are trying to push forward, political agendas. You may have some that want to do both. You may have some that want to push forward destructive political agendas while at the same time trying to get money. But they may not want to go out there and get their hands dirty and try to fight and get maced in the face. They just want to be out there as a face or as a high-ranking member, like the people that are out there. The members of the founders of BLM, do you see them out there in the protests? I mean, I'm not sure if they were ever out there. Maybe they were in the beginning, but have you seen them out there recently? Huh? And if you see them out there, are you going to see them getting maced in the face and tased in the hind parts? Are you going to see them doing that? Why would they do that? They can be in the office somewhere in Washington, D.C. or New York or Los Angeles counting money. Okay, they got $10 million US. Matter of fact, I think it was $10 or $20 million. I know it was at least over $10 million in one day after George Floyd died, but they didn't give any of that money to George Floyd's family. Pretty interesting how that works, but whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.